Hi! You know, I haven't washed or shaved since I first watched this movie. Yeah. And I watched it 5 times for this review. You know, I knew one day that I would have to review this movie, but I wasn't ready. You could never be ready for this movie. This goddamn movie. It damn near broke me. I have nothing to say about it. So now I'm going to review it for 20 minutes. I'm Alexthehunted, and this is Godzilla's Revenge. So our movie begins with a montage of Godzilla being Godzilla from other movies. And the credits have already got it wrong because the damn music is just wrong. I mean, let's compare it to the opening of the last Godzilla movie, Destroy All Monsters. That's how it's done. It's an awesome, epic piece of music that builds up and sets the mood for the rest of the movie. And now let's hear the opening to Godzilla's Revenge. Like, seriously, how could you get this music so wrong? Since when has anyone associated Godzilla with a saxophone? This sounds like something you would hear in Scooby-Doo, not Godzilla. Anyway, after the Godzilla Do Show intro, we get a glorious look at Japan in all its brown glory. Just look at all this beauty. And look at the kids walking home from school, no doubt getting their lungs destroyed by the pollution. Anyway, we meet our main character, an annoying as fuck kid, whose last name is Mickey, so that's what I'm going to call him for the rest of this one, because how the hell am I not going to call him his first name? He doesn't bloody deserve this. God, I hate this kid. He's up there with the stupid kid from the first Gabara movie. He is basically the same character. He is obsessed with Godzilla and everything about him. Anyway, he's walking home with his friend, a girl who has no name. And the dub actress for this little girl is just goddamn awful.
Gee, that's pretty exciting. You like?
If I talk like I'm constantly out of breath, it makes me sound like a little girl, I guess. Anyway, Mickey thinks he hears Manila when a car drives past and the tyre screech noise sounds like Manila's roar or something like that, I don't know. And I will spare you most of this kid's dialogue because this kid is so annoying, I already hate him in the first 2 minutes. And really that's the end of that for the moment because now we have to go through more music as the Japanese kids walk home some more. And we see more glorious Japanese scenery. It is thankfully interrupted by Mickey running into some bullies who steal some of his stuff and say if he goes and beeps the guy's horn on his bike, they'll give it back. But Mickey doesn't do that, he just runs off in his very upsettingly short shorts and the bullies call him a baby. So Mickey heads home and he meets with his next door neighbour, a creepy old toy maker. And who honestly looks like he would fit right in the Rogues Gallery of the 1966 Batman series. He's alright, I guess, but anyway, what's he making?
This one, it's a new toy. A mini computer for kids.
A mini computer?
That's a mini computer? How big are the laptops? Anyway, Mickey leaves to go to his flat, but not before doing another annoying roar, and then the toy maker steps on a soldering iron in a hilarious and no doubt terribly painful scene, with Mickey just leaving him in pain. What a nice kid. He goes into his house and watches the news about 2 robbers stealing a load of yen, which of course will have absolutely nothing to do with the plot of the movie, now would it? Anyway, he takes out his toys and starts playing with them, and dreams that he's taking a plane to Monster Island, and oh god, oh Jesus Christ, kid, please just close your damn legs, those shorts are just really goddamn upsetting like that, oh Jesus Christ, oh god. And then the plane gets exterminated by the Daleks because they use the exact same effect, basically, from the show. But the boy wakes up on Monster Island. where we see Godzilla fighting Kumongas, and hey, this footage looks really familiar, doesn't it? It's almost like it's the exact same footage from Son of Godzilla. It's like they're just using clips from completely different movies, even when the Godzilla suit completely changes in between scenes. Oh well, this is just a dream, you might be saying. Of course he would just dream about past Godzilla fights. Well, yes, but all these monsters that appear in these fight scenes were basically only on an island which only had about half a dozen people or more, let's say, on it. So there would be very little documented evidence of these monsters existing, or even that of them fighting Godzilla. So how the hell does this kid know about these monsters like Kumonga when they've never been seen off Monster Island? Anyway, Godzilla beats the Kumongas like he did before, and the kid climbs up a tree to have a look around at the monsters.
There's Brosaurus! There's Manda. Angulus.
And over there is Cheap Trick. Anyway, we get the Condor fight from Godzilla vs. the Sea Monster, and still in shaky cam, which really does give people motion sickness. Anyway, Kamakura starts to chase after him, and Mickey runs away, falling into, the Doctor Who time tunnel. He lands on the ground, and well, thank God this is a dream, because if this was the real world, he would be dead from a fall that high. So Kamakura just walks off. However, Mickey is stuck in a hole. Kid, you're in a dream. You can fly. Just dream about yourself flying up out of the hole. You can do that. Well, what happens is a vine comes down and pulls him up, and well, just play it.
I bring ya.
Hey, come on over here. I won't hurt you.
You won't?
No, don't be afraid.
Oh my God, Manila talks. And I thought monsters talking in Godzilla vs. Gigan was bad. Wow, Manila talks just wow. I mean, he sounds like Patrick Star in a way as well. Also, Manila was created by Toho because they thought that kids would like a little Godzilla to identify with. However, they made Manila absolutely pathetic and weak and useless. And also ugly as sin, so no one likes him. It's reasons like this is why Manila never has a role in any other Godzilla movie after this until Final Wars. But then again, he wasn't really that important to the overall story, and he just kind of vanishes halfway through. Also, Toho forgot the reason why kids love Godzilla movies. It's because of Godzilla, not this. Anyway, a new monster shows up called Gabara, and he just looks even worse than Manila. How the hell did they do that? But we don't get that much of a look at him because, well, Mickey just is then woken up by the phone ringing. Because his mum is on the phone saying that she'll have to stay late at work today and that the toy man will make his tea. Anyway, Mickey goes off to play in an abandoned building after he's been chased off by the bullies again and goes to have a look around. As he looks around, he finds a driving license and goes to look to see if anyone's in the building. However, he doesn't find anyone and leaves, only for the bank robbers that I mentioned earlier to appear, and it was one of their driving licenses that Mickey picked up. And I have to ask, how do you do that? How do you purposely lose your driving license? And in Japan, they kind of look like passports. So you have to try to lose something like that. Something that important, and that you're also a criminal on the run, so you'd make sure you have that on you at all times. So you really have to be an idiot and fuck up to lose your something as important as your driving license. So the boss says to the guy who lost his driving license, you better follow the kid back so he can find where the kid lives and get his driving license back. And Mickey goes off to a car and does, Okay, I'm not going to suggest anything, but what did the director tell the kid when filming the scene? What did he say? I want you to run up to that car and dry hump it. Like, seriously, what the hell was he thinking? Anyway, after the thieves find out where Mickey lives, he goes back to sleep to go back to Monster Island because he wants to see Manila again. I really think he's the only person ever who wants to see Manila more than once. However, Gabara finds him instead, and Mickey runs off in slow motion in just a bizarre scene, as a faded Gabara just keeps appearing behind him every so often. It's one of the oddest scenes in any Godzilla movie. Then it just stops because he meets Manila. Like, literally, the chase just sort of stops and Gabara just, I don't know, gives up or something? I don't know. So Manila talks to Mickey. I still can't believe I'm saying this. who says that Godzilla is looking for him so he can teach Manila how to fight. And wow, just look at the animatronics of that head. Oh god, this is one of the worst and creepiest things I've ever seen.
Godzilla says that I should learn to fight my own battles, you know.
So the Godzilla suit changes again as we go into Godzilla vs. the Sea Monster, and we now find out what all these Godzilla fights from the past movies were missing. An annoying wimpy kid and an ugly as sin gremlin commentating over the whole thing with crap jazz music. I mean, what the hell am I supposed to say? I've already reviewed this movie. Godzilla fights Ebra, they play volleyball, nothing really changes. And how could this kid know about Ebra? He's never been seen in Japan until Godzilla Final Wars, which was nearly 40 years after this goddamn movie was made. So literally in between scenes, Godzilla suit changes again as we go back to Son of Godzilla so Godzilla can fight Kumonga. And they just do a terrible, basically, Photoshop over where Manila was in the actual movie and just replace it with a goddamn rock. And god damn it, even in the next scene, the webbed up Manila is right there. You can see him. They didn't even try to hide him. This is beyond lazy. Also, just look how bad this editing is for the end of the fight. Because they can't use the actual end of the fight from the movie, because it is goddamn snowing in that scene. So this is how they actually end the fight.
We won! Ho, 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 ho.
Just really, what the hell were they thinking when they just decided to be this lazy? Were they that restricted with budget at Toho at the time? Actually, looking up at the history of Toho, they really were. So, yeah, it's basically the budget's fault for all of this just shit. Anyway, Gabara shows up and Manila decides to fight him this time and changes his side because he can do that now. And yet, Gabara is one of the weakest monsters ever in a Godzilla movie. He is so weak he would not dare fight Godzilla, so instead he'll bully Godzilla's son. Just let that sink in how pathetic that is compared to all the other monsters in Godzilla. King Ghidorah, a planet-destroying demon dragon. Mechagodzilla, built to kill the real Godzilla. Gigan, a cyborg that can destroy entire cities. Gabara, he bullies Godzilla's son because he's so weak he can't fight anyone else. So Manila gets beaten up by Gabara and they both run up, Gabara celebrating the fact that he beat up a child. So finally, after over 40 minutes, we get some new Godzilla footage, and it's basically a repeat of the scene from Son of Godzilla teaching how to breathe atomic breath to Manila. Seriously, why the hell is this scene not stock footage? Why did they decide to make this scene again and not just reuse the stock footage? It doesn't make any goddamn sense. By how the scene goes, they could have literally just copied and pasted the entire scene from Son of Godzilla. So Mickey gets grabbed by a plant monster and the camera zooms in on his shorts. Thank God this is an anime. But out of the dream, Mickey is kidnapped by the two robbers, and that doesn't make any sense at all because why don't they just break into Mickey's apartment while he sleeps, steal the driving license, and then just get out of there? They don't need the kid at all. My God, the logic in this movie is just non-existent. Who the hell directed this movie? Hang on a second. Ishio Honda? I know that name. He directed the first Godzilla movie and directed this? How the hell did that happen? This is like directing Citizen Kane and then going on to Plan 9 from outer space. How the hell do you fuck up this badly? So Mickey is taken to the abandoned building from earlier where they tie him up and one of them goes off to steal a car. Oh, and where's the toy maker during all of this? Well, he left ages ago to go to a bar. The kid was completely alone. Wow, way to look after a kid, man. What, did you get tips from the McCann family? My God, I'm making jokes about a real child kidnapping. This movie sends me to dark places. So Mickey dreams again and heads back to see Manila, who is getting his ass kicked by Gabara again. And as usual, Manila can't fight for shit, but Gabara does show off a power. He can shock people with his hands. Where does this power come from? Well, you could say it is unlimited. Yes, unlimited power. Also, Gabara just decks Manila in the face, and I just want to see that a few more times. Ha! Child violence. With Manila on the ground, Mickey drops a rock in his tail that makes Manila shoot his atomic breath and hurts Gabara. Wow, Gabara, how does it feel to be hurt by a child? Oh well, I'm sure you can make it up with your brilliant hand-to-hand combat skills. So Godzilla finally shows up, but he won't fight Gabara because he knows he can just beat him easily, and wants his son to fight him, and it goes just as well as you expect. But Godzilla does step in to stop Gabara from shocking Manila, and Gabara just runs off chasing Manila because he dare not fight Godzilla. Mickey comes up with an idea to beat Gabara, as it just so happens that there is a fallen tree that just so happens to be on a rock that just so happens to act as the flipper. And it just so happens that Gabara is standing on it. What luck! So the plan goes ahead with Manila jumping off the cliff, landing on the other end of the flipper that sends Gabara flying and spinning in the air. And it was watching this exact moment is when I just realised how much Godzilla has changed. I mean, he went from a symbol of nuclear destruction and the horror of the bomb to this. It's amazing. Even today, with the most recent Godzilla movie, Shin Godzilla, the original Godzilla message isn't really there. It's more of a political drama with weird zombie Godzilla in it. So Godzilla congratulates his son on being now only the second weakest monster in the Godzilla universe, but Gabara attacks Godzilla, which is the stupidest thing he's ever done because that means Godzilla is now just going to kick his ass. Gabara does not even hurt Godzilla once. Even when he does that damn shocking hand thing, Godzilla just bats him off and kicks the crap out of him, finishing him off by throwing him overhead and Gabara just landing on the floor and then running away. And there goes the weakest monster in Godzilla history. I don't care what other people think. I don't care if someone else thinks another monster is weaker. Gabara is the weakest monster in Godzilla history because at least the other monsters had the courage to fight Godzilla. Gabara just wants to fight his son and runs off the moment Godzilla actually steps into the fray. I mean, give Zilla this. I mean, his fight was short, but at least he wanted to fight Godzilla. He didn't just see Godzilla and then run away. So Godzilla goes to Mickey to do something, I don't know, but Mickey wakes up from his dream. And that's the last we see of Godzilla in this whole movie, and we have 20 minutes left. And we're not even an hour into this movie, and Godzilla's scenes are all done now. And I actually worked this out. Taking out all the stock footage, Godzilla is on screen, new footage, not stock footage, for only 3 minutes and 36 seconds. So anyway, the thieves get a car to escape, and they also have their driving license back, so they don't need Mickey anymore, so they could just leave him tied up in the building. But no, for some reason they bring him along. But all of a sudden the car doesn't work, so they both go out to try and fix it, leaving Mickey to escape. Manila coming out of nowhere to tell him to fight his own battles, even though it was Godzilla that defeated Gabara. Anyway, Mickey escapes and the thieves chase after him as they get the car going. So wait, why are you chasing after him? The car is working, you have the money, you have your driving license, you don't need this kid anymore. Just let him run off. Just leave. But no, they chase after him into the building and, well, we get, from what all I can say is, that scene from Home Alone 2. But not as good or as funny. Really, it's all the thieves' fault. Really, the thieves just fall over themselves all the time, and it very rarely has anything to do with the kids. While that's going on, the toy maker finds the car just out of nowhere, and the money, and phones the police. And Mickey gets brave and beats the thieves with a fire extinguisher. God damn it, I'm just amazed these thieves managed to actually steal any money at all. So the police show up and arrest the thieves. So now can our movie end? Of course not, we still have more amazing storylines to wrap up. Because Mickey now faces the bullies and he fights the main bully, and this isn't YouTube fucking up, this is how the actual fight is edited. All of a sudden it just becomes a slideshow. I don't get it. Were they not allowed to show kids fighting or something? And this is how they get around it? I don't know. But Mickey beats the bully, and now with his newfound courage he goes off and sounds the bike horn. He falls off his ladder somehow because of the horn ringing, and paint just splashes all over him. And this is the 60s where lead paint was still widely used, so this man might die if he drinks any of it. And with that, the bullies now like him and they become friends. Wait, that was the message of this movie? Hey kids, if you're being bullied, well, you should get into fights and cause things that make accidents or pranks to get people's attention until they like you. What a fucking horrible message for this movie. Dear God, just end. So to sum up, this movie sucks. Without a shadow of a doubt, is it the worst Godzilla movie ever made. I know people say the 1998 Godzilla is the worst one ever made, but at least that movie was a movie. It didn't just cut together scenes from other movies and then make a movie around it. All of the scenes were shot for that movie. The laziness on screen here is just baffling. I know it was because Toho had really big financial problems at the time and they couldn't spend a lot of money, but my god, just... You could have... It doesn't excuse just the sheer shit this movie has in it. Even the new scenes. The kid is annoying, Gabara is pathetic as a villain, and Manila is a monster that nobody likes. Everything about this movie is shit. I would not recommend it even to the most diehard Godzilla fan who wants to see all the Godzilla movies, because most of the Godzilla movies are in this piece of shit, so you don't need to watch it. Oh, Jesus Christ. And with that done... Basically, I'm just going to head back to the wheels because any movie could be better than this, and I will see you guys next time when I review. Oh. Ha! The original King Kong. A good movie. And we finally get to see where all this kaiju stuff basically started. Yes!